Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm going to keep it really simple. I have Cheryl and Cindy, the two C ladies here. It's Cheryl and Cindy. I have Cheryl Morden and Cindy Carpenter here in the studio today from Second Chance of Northwest Florida. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And thanks for putting up with that introduction. It was not one of my best.
Thank you for having us this morning.
Well, Second Chance of Northwest Florida.
Yes.
That is a charitable organization.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And what do you guys do? What's your mission?
We are a brain injury program for adults. Adults over the age of 18 and on up who have had a brain injury, traumatic brain injury or acquired brain injury. Most of our members have had a motorcycle accident or a car accident, and others have had like strokes, heart attacks, those kinds of things. And so they, after their rehabilitation at Health South.
And you're with Health South, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And so after that, very often, if their condition is severe enough, they may just be at home with nothing to do. And with very often they're adults, and so they end up going back home with maybe elderly parents to take care of them. And so we give them some respite, if you will. They come to the program. It's 5 days a week.
Is it a physical building?
Yes.
Where they go? Okay.
We have been at 222 East Beach Drive for 22 years.
A lot of twos in that.
And now we have moved to the A.D. Harris building at 871 East 11th Street. And so we are now at the Village. And so we're trying to get settled in there.
So what are some of the activities and what are some of the programs that you would do with someone like who had some sort of traumatic brain injury or stroke or whatever? I've gone through all of my rehabilitation, and now I'm like, Second Chance of Northwest Florida, help me out here. Now, I go see you guys, maybe make a call, or you would reach out to me, and what happens from there?
You would probably have to contact us. We get referrals from Health South, from the hospitals. Of course, when there's a traumatic brain injury, the hospitals are required to report. There's a reporting number for that. And so, but really, we accept referrals from individuals who have...
Now you say you accept me. We go through that whole process, and then I show up there. What do you do with me? What are there activities that help me sharpen my senses?
Absolutely. We have a fantastic computer lab, and so if you would like to work on the computer, we have exercises, brain exercises that they do. There's just wonderful programs out there that we use, and we also, we do art on computer. We have a new program that's called Splash. And the members love doing their artwork through the computer. We also have arts and crafts.
So you're going to keep me busy.
I'm going to.
And you're going to keep my mind active.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we got to run off to the weather right now because time's always the enemy on this show.
Right.
Because we get interesting people. We get these great conversations, and people hold up signs, say 30 seconds, you got to go. But let's go off to the weather.
All right.
And on the other side of that, maybe you can tell me about the event that's coming up next.
Certainly.
Because you guys have a golf outing or something.
Yes. Wonderful.
I want to talk about the need for this stuff too.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Cheryl and Cindy from Second Chance of Northwest Florida. And Cindy, you guys have an event coming up, a golf outing.
That's correct. We have a Second Chance Northwest Florida charity golf tournament September 19th at Ombre. We're still looking for teams. It's a shotgun start at noon. This is the 4th year that Health South has partnered with Second Chance to put on this charity golf tournament, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a great event.
How successful have you guys been? Obviously, you keep doing it. You've done it for 4 years. You've had some modicum of success with the golf outing, haven't you?
We actually have. Every single year, we raise more money. When we first decided to do it 4 years ago, none of us had ever put on a golf tournament before.
I'm not a golfer. Time for everything, right?
I'm not a golfer. I'm like, I don't really know anything about golf, but let's go for it and see what we can do. And
it's really about a cart ride, right? That's what it's really about. And maybe the beer van that comes around. I don't know.
That's the best part for me. So.
Me too. I'm a horrible golfer.
But so we had a successful first year, and we have increased our fundraising every single year. Have already surpassed the goal this year that we set, and so we think it's going to be a really great tournament again this year. Weather has always cooperated with us, knock on wood.
That's great. Cheryl, you told me a little story off camera before that you guys actually bought a bus or a van or something one year?
Yes,
Is that
year
right?
before last.
Yeah. Was that your first year or second year doing this?
That was our second year,
Second year?
But we needed a bus. We had a little van, and we just had too many members because to go anywhere together. And one of the activities that everybody loves is our Friday outings in the community. It's a chance for them to get together and go out in the community.
So they needed a way. You needed a way to get them
yeah,
there,
so we
right?
needed this bus.
So you went out and you busted a move and you bought a bus, didn't you?
I did, yes. I went to an auction and up in Mariana, and it was the very day of the golf tournament, and I really felt like I needed to be at the golf tournament, but I had to go see about this bus, and so I bid on the bus. Boarded said how much I could bid, and so I bid $2,000 less. Somebody else had already checked the bus out because they were interested in it and decided not to. Well, I don't know what they decided, but anyway, we got the bid and got the bus, and so I ran back. I drove back to Andre.
Pretty spry.
Andre to the Ombre, and said to Cindy, "How much money do you think we're going to make?" And she said, "I said $8,000 is what I need," and she said, "We're going to make it."
So you guys made $8,000 and spent $8,000 pretty much in the same day, right?
Well, right. We made a little more than that, but anyway, we had enough to buy the bus and get the license, and
so the money certainly goes to a good cause.
absolutely every year.
Cindy, if I want to go to this golf outing, is there a website or something or a phone number I need to call?
Yes, actually, anybody who's interested in participating or wants more information on the tournament can contact me, Cindy Carpenter, at Health South. My number is 850-914-8633.
Okay, and the event is on the 19th of September, is that right?
Friday, September 19th. Shotgun start at noon.
That's awesome stuff. Ladies, thank you so much for what you're doing here in the community and helping people with these brain injuries and abnormalities. And Second Chance in Northwest Florida, good luck to you guys on your golf outing.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after your Mad Hatter Minute.
I'm David Lovett, and this is your Mad Hatter Minute. Engine coolant, brake fluid, power steering fluid are all very important fluids that need to be changed. But the fluid that gets the least amount of respect but is the most important that needs to be done is the transmission fluid. Transmission fluid is a slippery liquid that lubricates all the moving parts of the internal transmission. In an automatic transmission, the fluid also acts as a coolant for the transmission. There are a variety of different fluids for automatic transmission. Shockingly, these fluids are called automatic transmission fluid. There are several different types. My best recommendation is to take the manufacturer's recommendation of what type of fluid to use in the transmission. Changing the automatic transmission fluid can be a messy process. First, you have to have access to the underbelly of the car. Secondly, you need to remove the transmission pan to gain access to the transmission filter. The transmission filter should always be replaced when changing the transmission fluid. Not changing the transmission filter is similar to changing your oil without changing the engine oil filter. You're cycling all the dirty contaminants right back into the transmission. How often should you change your transmission fluid? Well, it varies from manufacturer to manufacturer, but typically the manufacturer recommends every 30 to 60,000 miles. Check with your trusted local auto repair facility for them to give you the details. I am David Lovett, and that has been your Mad Hatter Minute.
Hey folks, this is Joshua Brown with Mad Hatter on 23rd Street. Is your check engine light on? If it is, text MADHAT28, that's MADHAT28, to 24247, and we'll check it for free.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Dr. Ron Johnston from Advanced Dermatology and Skincare. And we're going to do a little after action here because, in a previous show, I got a little Botox action here. And you had me make these faces, and now I'm...
Right, it's like a lot
I can barely
softer.
make those faces, yeah.
Yeah, Botox, remember, is the botulinum toxin, so it paralyzes the nerve so you can't move your muscles as well. So it's mainly FDA approved for between the eyebrows and the crow's feet over on the sides of the eyes. So it works great there. So if you were to make a mad face, so you can see it's a lot softer in the middle here from before.
Yeah.
And then if you smile, and your crow's feet are almost gone on the sides.
Yeah.
They look great. And then if you raise your forehead, much softer across the forehead. So you had some great results. And it was about, what, a week ago, 9 days ago, something like that?
Just about a week. And you know, the first day you don't notice anything. Everything's the same. But over time, I guess it kind of sets in and has that desired paralytic effect.
That's right. It basically knocks it out temporary. It's extremely safe. Lasts for about 3 to 4 months, maybe 6 months, but it does take about 3 to 5 days to start seeing the results. After about a week, you definitely should start seeing results. With the maximum result, you'll still get a little bit more probably by 2 weeks.
And I noticed when you were sticking those needles in my face, are there very specific locations where you put them, or just where you see a wrinkle?
Well, you know, where you see a wrinkle is usually where there's a muscle, but you are you want to get it done by someone who knows what they're doing, obviously. And you want to target certain areas so that you get the maximum effect with the least amount of sticks with the needle, and that the toxin, that the Botox goes where you want it to go and does what you want it to do, because you can get, you know, too raised an eyebrow or a droopy eyelid or something like that if it's injected in the wrong spot.
Yeah, so you really you don't want one side being different from the other. Symmetry is key, I suppose.
That's right. But if you're somebody who knows what they're doing and has experience, they should be able to get a good result and like I said, and help you out and make sure that you look younger and more youthful, put it that
Now,
way.
before they take away my man card, are there many guys that have this done, or is this mostly females who have that?
Well, the majority of people who get cosmetic procedures such as Botox or the fillers is usually women, but there is a growing number of men who do it, and I do see a number of men, and most people, dermatologists or plastic surgeons, you see more and more men, so it's a growing field as far as men want to look good too when they get older, so and it's extremely safe, so men can do it, and you don't see a dramatic change or a huge change, something where you're taking on a lot more cost, a lot more risk with something like plastic surgery or something like that.
Does it work on everybody, or there's some people it doesn't work on? Do some people get better results than others?
You can get sometimes, it does vary. The results can vary. It depends on, again, who's injecting you, the amount of Botox that they're injecting. Some people, there's been rare occurrences where some people, maybe one toxin doesn't work as well, and maybe another one, such as Dysport, may work a little better on them, or maybe a little quicker, maybe last a little longer. But Botox is sort of the top one right now, and that's usually the one that most people know the name of.
Now, it's not permanent, though. I mean, you have to go in periodically for a tune-up, I guess, or re-injections.
Correct. Yeah, all the toxins, whether it's Botox, Dysport, or Xenamin, or some of the top toxins, they're all temporary in nature. So they'll last 3 to 4 months, plus or minus. Some people are lucky; you may get them to last maybe 6 months. But they're all temporary in nature, and that's the way they're designed.
I know a lot of my viewers are probably wondering, particularly the ladies, you know, will this fit into the household budget? Is it really expensive to do?
It all depends on how much of the area you do. I mean, to do one zone or maybe between the eyebrows, it's probably somewhere around $200. To do all the areas that we did on you, as far as the crow's feet on the sides,
About $10,000.
between the eyebrows and on top of the forehead, or
They
the
back
forehead
up the
area.
Botox truck, you know.
That's right. You need a big budget now. But you know, somewhere around, you know, for women, they get usually a little less on the Botox. They usually require somewhere between 40 to 45 units. It's probably somewhere around $450 to $500. Men, larger muscles, stronger muscles, usually get somewhere around 60 to 65 units, so it can range up to somewhere close to $600. So you're talking somewhere between $400 to $600 to do the entire face. If you're just going to do an area, like maybe the crow's feet or the forehead, well, then the price goes down and maybe somewhere to maybe $150 to $250 a zone.
And how often do you have to go back? I mean, say you have to go, you know, $600 a sitting, you know, for the full Monty, so to speak. How often should you go back to have that tune-up? That's a medical term.
It's really whenever the patient wants. When you start to see it wear off, you'll probably see it start to wear off in that 3 to 4 month period, and then it's just a matter of when you want to get it done. Now, what they've shown in the past, though, is when people sort of don't wait till it's totally gone, like in the 6 month point, and they sort of go back at maybe that 3 to 4 month period and get a little tune-up where you may not need as much, they find that the Botox seems to last longer and longer each time.
Dr. Ron Johnson, how do I learn more about it? How do I get in touch with you? And how do I find out if I'm a good candidate for this?
Well, absolutely. We do free consultations at Advanced Dermatology, and it's advanceddermclinic.com is an easy website. We've got an online appointment request reminder, or you can see all of our phone numbers for all our different locations in Panama City Beach, and Destin area.
Thanks so much for coming on the show, and we're looking forward to having you back next week.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I have two special guests here in the studio. I have Tim Bedford, who is the CEO of Emerald Coast Behavioral Hospital, and of course, our old friend Linda Cope from Warrior Beach Retreat. Tim, what's your involvement in Warrior Beach Retreat?
Well, we're going to be doing a barbecue tomorrow. That's going to be a fundraiser for the Warrior Beach Retreat.
That is such a worthy cause, and unless you've been living under a rock, Warrior Beach Retreat annually has this big thing for all of these warriors. About 25 couples will come down, and you know, soup to nuts. They get a great little break, and I guess a mental health break from therapies and from all the other things that these families go through. Tim, tell us more about this thing. I see we've got September 12th from 10:30 to 1 p.m. And where is this happening?
It's at Emerald Coast Behavioral on 1940 Harrison. We're going to be serving barbecue all day long with that, and it's going to, you can pick it up. We'll deliver it with more than 10. It's $7 a meal, and we'll also you can dine with us. We'll have a big tent out there, and it'll be a lot of fun.
So we can go out to Emerald Coast Behavioral at 10 o'clock or 10:30 tomorrow morning, get some great barbecue food for $7, and also contribute to Warrior Beach Retreat. And the proceeds are all going to that.
100%. We do have a number of professional barbecuers that are going to help us out that have donated their time.
I've discovered that barbecue is a high art here in the South. But yeah. So you got professionals.
We have professionals, and we also have a team of our cooks from our hospital that are challenging these professionals.
You know, and I would imagine in your line of work that you probably see some veterans that have some issues regarding PTSD and maybe traumatic brain injuries and
Sure.
Well,
most people in this area don't know that, but we do have a 30-bed unit that serves our military for PTSD and trauma, both active duty and veterans.
And that's an important thing to know, that not all, and as Linda has pointed out before, not all injuries are visible. I mean, those traumatic brain injuries, the PTSD, that is as debilitating as any physical injury you could have.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're just so lucky that where we are in this area that we can provide that service.
Tim Bedford and Linda Cope, thank you so much for getting together to help Warrior Beach Retreat, and thank you for the good work that you do out there at Emerald Coast Behavioral Hospital on Harrison Avenue. Be there, be square. It's at 10:30 tomorrow morning at Emerald Coast Behavioral Hospital. We all remember where we were on 9/11. I certainly do. But do you remember where you were and what you were doing the days afterwards? Here's where I was.
For what people are calling ground zero, the devastation is complete and utter, and video just can't really represent the human toll and destruction. As National Guardsmen join the relief effort, the ash-covered hulks of fire trucks destroyed in the attack are towed away. With too many people missing for an accurate count, authorities can only estimate that among the thousands missing, there are at least 300 New York firefighters, over 150 workers from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and at least 57 New York Police Department and Port Authority police officers. They battle crumbling buildings, choking smoke and ash, and the most unforgiving enemy of all, time. As rescuers continue their grim hunt for survivors in the ruins of the World Trade Center, workers drape American flags from buildings and cranes and brace for the worst. A surreal and dreamlike mood hangs from the damaged Manhattan skyline. As the wreckage smolders and the workers continue the arduous task, it seems each rescuer has been there an eternity. As one heartbroken fire captain told me off camera, the pace of the operation seemed to be a slow, bad dream from which he couldn't awaken. Clawing through the wreckage, day and night, firefighters, police, and iron workers using all manner of rescue equipment desperately hunt for anyone still alive in the wake of the nation's worst terrorist attack. All around, everywhere you look, there is destruction. There is not one place to fix your eyes in this hellish landscape that doesn't serve as a reminder of the evil that transpired here. Volunteers emerge from the rubble with grisly tales, too painful to recount in this report. It is a portent of the horrors to come as they cleared away the twisted steel and glass wreckage that was once the Twin Towers. Dwarfed by the enormity of the disaster area ant-like rescuers carefully negotiate the still burning and dangerous wreckage. A misplaced beam, shifting debris, and pockets of flammable gas and fuel can mean additional disaster for rescue workers. Great care must be taken not to add to the death toll. A system of clearing, evacuating, and searching the wreckage has been established to find survivors and the deceased. Heroic iron workers battle heat and smoke to measure and calculate the magnitude of each lift so each mangled beam can be removed, allowing searchers to search deeper into the wreckage. Throughout the day, a convoy of trucks cart away rubble to a landfill on Staten Island, where FBI and other investigators search it for evidence and remains. In what seems to be a Herculean task, determined firemen, police, and volunteers remove rubble in a bucket brigade, hoping to find the remains of the fallen. As parts of the rubble continued to burn, the smell of fire wafted uptown, a constant reminder to Manhattan residents that terror has struck the homeland.